Nation and mining family, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Yo! For you automatic beats.
Smoke weed every day.
Yo, what's going on? Got those FAs in the Chizzity chat as you guys are rolling on in here. Don't forget to smash that lizardy like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification, all that good stuff. You know what to do. You aren't new to this. Yo, so how is everyone doing on this FA Monday? Yo. Got automatic boots in his house. We got Rude. Got our two favorite people in his house. Yo. Left-handed cigarettes, real quick. Yeah, automatic. No, just kidding. The BMW is running again. Good to know. Good to know, Rude. Good to know. That is awesome. Love it when somebody's got. If you guys don't know, me and him chit chat. He's a tuner, so. I love seeing his little projects that he's got in his neck of the woods over there. He's got some stuff that you normally don't see here stateside. So it's awesome to see that. What's going on? Wheeling Crypto in the house. He's like, I am here. Yes, you are, my dude. Yes, you are. So now that Wheeling Crypto is here, it's a party, dude. There are three awesome people in here. Don't forget to smash that lizardy like button. And we're going to go ahead and kick this off. Yo. So if you guys haven't noticed, GeForce graphics driver bug may be causing a 10% CPU usage from NVIDIA container, guys. Yo. So what they're talking about here is a new graphics bug that people have been noticing that, like, if you've shut down a program, depending on what kind of a program it is, you'll see a really big CPU spike, about 15%. I mean, considering, depending on what's going on at that same time, you actually might see your whole screen stutter for a second. And that much I have noticed. Turning off games, I will watch my little icons on my desk just kind of flash for, just kind of bleep. It's just upon it, like, kind of unloading the game off of it. It doesn't matter what game I'm playing. They all kind of do it. So it's something that I've noticed. I have sent the Mobo Biostar back to the seller and getting my refund. Nice. Man, you have the worst luck with that, my dude. The worst. I wish I could help you out with that, dude. But you're too far away. It's not like I can be like, oh yeah, give me an hour, I'll drive on over. No, it doesn't work like that. So it depending on what kind, like I said, depending on what kind of a program you're shutting down, if it's graphically intensive like AE, are you rendering video? Are you editing video? So do you have DaVinci Resolve on or something like that? And you shut it down because that's going to be graphically intensive inside of its own program. And I have noticed that when I shut down DaVinci Resolve, that my icons flicker. Anytime I shut a game down, all my icons flicker. And it's only during those little times. And I've never put two and two together until I came across this article. And then I kind of turned on a program and shut it back down and just like watch it kind of blink just for a brief moment as I'm shutting the program down. You would almost think that it's just, it must be a normal thing of the program shutting down. But you don't really typically see it just kind of whoop. You usually see it just kind of cycle down as it goes, killing the operation, not that it's ramping something up and then dying off. So if you have a older CPU with a newer GPU, you might actually see stumbling on your actual PC desk. It's like video chat will work. Yo, nice. Uh, Looking to get an A2000s for $300. That's not bad. That's not bad. Also getting a RGB 2-port clone docking station. If I wouldn't have, I personally would never. I don't know if I'd ever have a necessity to really do that. The clone drives. I mean, I guess you can do it if you were doing like a big GPU farm. You could just boop 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 boop, and just have a master drive, and then make all your other stuff off of it. But I mean, you still have to give each one an individual rig ID. So I mean, you're still going in there for the initial setup. So I mean, something that I would normally do with my USB before I plug it into my rig is then I put the ID information in there. This way, when it logs into my Hive account, that it just automatically knows what it is, and I've already got it all set up on there. Yo, what up, Geek of All Trades? What's going on, my dude? So, I mean, like, it depends on what. I mean, for me personally, I've looked at those those cloning dock stations, and I was like, man, can I use it? Can it make what I do on a day-to-day basis any better? And for my usage, it would be a waste of money. But if for somebody like yourself, as you're sitting there saying, you're fixing laptops and stuff like that, and it's easier just to go boom and just, if you're doing like repairs and stuff like that, and you got a suspected drive that's getting a little janky and you want to update the drive or something like that, the cloning stations will work perfect. But I don't do that type of work, so so I mean, if you do it enough, for sure, definitely get it. You need to have all the tools of your arsenal. It's like me as a mechanic, right? As a mechanic, I'm going to make sure that I have all the wrenches that I possibly can need. I have all the sockets that I need, and that all my sockets work on my impact guns. This way I'm not double buying sockets. Big brain thinking right there, right? So I spend a little bit more on my sockets today, but I know that they'll last me going into the future. So that was my thinking on it all, So I was like, yes, everything will be perfect like that. So I mean, that's it's like you want to make sure you got all the right tools if you're going to be doing any kind of electronic repair, or data recovery or expansion stuff on there, for sure. So yep. That is very nice to have if that's your job, for sure. So back to this though. So if you guys are noticing that that your computer's kind of hanging up on you while you're turning off certain programs, or you're noticing screen flickering here and there, these are known issues that NVIDIA is working on with their drivers. It was for me, it started happening right after one of the Windows updates, and it seems like there's a bug that Windows introduced into NVIDIA drivers, and then this one is one that's just directly with NVIDIA's driver, period. So hopefully they'll get this stuff fixed out and working a little bit smoother. Can't sit there and dog on AMD's drivers all the time. I know it's so easy to pick on AMD's drivers because they usually they just barely work 9 times out of 10. It's like AMD has that too. Exactly. That's why I try not to dog on AMD's drivers all the time. Whenever I see something that I've previously covered that AMD's had an issue with, I'll cover the same thing if it turns out that NVIDIA has the same problem. They need to be held accountable just as much as AMD. AMD, we know that AMD's always had an issue with drivers here and there, like stupid little bugs and stuff like that. But whenever NVIDIA has some of the same similar problems, I'll hit them up on that too. It's a Windows thing. Yeah, exactly. And it was like a lot of it was like kind of introduced like right after one of the Windows updates. I want to say like back in December, I started noticing like little issues here and there. And then the last Windows update is just gotten a little worse. Now it's like I can tell I can duplicate the problem over and over again. It's not all programs. That's what's really funny about it. It's not all programs. Just some programs will just kind of give that little spike, and you'll see it in the graphics. It's like whoop. It's like whoa. What was that? So, talking about AMD also, if you guys don't watch DeBauer's YouTube channel, guys, he got himself a Power Color Liquid Devil, the RTX 7900 XTX. Oh man, this thing is kind of slick looking. I don't know about you. I don't know about you guys, but I dig it, dude. It's got an EK block customized for the Red Devil edition. Like I said, I like this look. This is pretty, dude, to me. I mean, I don't know about you guys. And DeBauer, of course, pulled it apart. It's your typical EK style water block, but it is special for the Power Color RX 7000 series. Red Devil looking. Yeah, oh yeah, I know. Sick looking card. I know, dude. It's like, this is why I kind of get into water blocking sometimes, because like you get something really cool like this, and you can put your GPU into display mode and just stand that up and like have it kind of be the focal point of your computer case, instead of just tucking it away, hiding it off to the side, like kind of like what I do, because I don't have a whole lot of room to have like a computer sitting on top of my desk for the world to see. I'm in my living room. But yeah, this card here is a sexy little thing, dude. I'm just saying. And then of course, come on. Wow, website's being a little slow today. So this was the card side of him pulling everything apart on here, as the website is like kind of being slow. Typical layout of PCB layouts. They're stuffing more memory modules down here, which is kind of interesting to me that we're starting to see more memory modules being placed in towards the motherboard or your riser side, depending on how you're slotting this thing in, right? That they're putting more memory down here. I mean, back in the day, they didn't want to put a whole lot down here because they knew that this was being plugged into something and airflow would be restricted to a certain extent. But water blocking this solves all the problem on this. Also knowing that these are still GDDR6 memory modules and they are considered flip chip designs. In other words, most of the heat is actually closest to the PCB on this. And what's interesting is that this card does not have active cooling on it on the backside. It's only got front side cooling on it. So unfortunately, I think that there's some performance left on the table that they could have incorporated a backplate on here, and gotten some good PCB thermals to be able to take out of there. So I mean, other than that, I like the water block. That water block is awesome. Guys, you can mine on these. The only thing that I would say, and this is where people kind of cringe, because we all know you kind of want to stay away from doing the AIO coolers on it, the all-in-ones. Um, because if it starts to boil the fluid inside of there, there's really nowhere for that gas to really go, and it'll blow off a hose. It's happened even while just gaming with people. So I mean, it's not like you have to be mining with it in order for this to happen. Remember, guys, if you are gaming, you are actually slapping that GPU a lot harder than you would be if you were mining, because all of us miners, we're pulling power off of the GPU because we're trying to get that thermal efficiency out of it with the highest hash rate. There's that point where you're producing too much heat, and the only way to control heat is by taking away wattage. Why? Because for every 1 watt of being utilized, you are creating 3.41, 3.42 BTUs of heat per watt generated. And over a certain amount of time, it's like you're talking 100 watts. 100 watts is like sitting there and having a little bit of a space heater sitting next to you, as we all know. And eventually you start scaling that up, and what are you going to do with all that heat, right? But if you have a custom loop like this one, this is where you get a little bit better options. Why? The big reason why is that you have a reservoir. So a lot of the air pressure that will be generated, like for evaporative, the evaporation of the water side of this, right? Because you're going to use a distilled style water with some inhibitors in here, right? So with that being said, it's like that water will evaporate out at some point in time. And these, as long as your fittings at each one of the junctions are good, you're pretty, I've got two 3090s, a 480 mil radiator. They're Kingpins, Kingpin 3090s. And they have been chugging away since I've gotten them. Every once in a while, I see that the fluid of the water starts evaporating out. Why? Because I don't have the lid of the reservoir on very tight. I do the same thing with my PC down here. It's air gapped. If it wants to expand, if it needs to expand some air out, it needs to be able to do so. Otherwise, you're going to pressurize your system. And that's the last thing you want to do. You want this stuff to be flowing water, but not pressurized. So with it being underwater, right? Does it make sense to put a whole fleet of these out and mine with a whole fleet of these? No. Air cooling works just as good. The only reason why I've got the Kingpins are because they're Kingpins. And the reason why my computer's, I've got a custom EK water loop on here is because it's my personal PC. Of course, I'm going to do some trick stuff to it. It's my personal PC was never supposed to be practical. It's got a Threadripper in there. It's anything but practical at that point. Let's just be real about it, right? I know, it's a sexy little card. Oh my God. So, but mining wise on a fleet of these, unless you've got, a good set of money set aside. My personal PC as an EK setup put almost another $1,500 into my PC build, right? $1,500 worth of computer parts got stuff. Just water cooling got put into here. It's not cheap to be sitting there and water blocking everything. And neither is this card going to be cheap either, guys. This card's going to cost a pretty penny because it's an EK water block on there already. Did he actually put pricing around here? Let's see here. It was 1,700 euros to dollars. Let's see here. So you're looking at $18,000, a little over $18,000 for this card. Is basically what this sexiness is going to cost you here in the United States. This sexy little beast here is A little over $18,000 for this sexiness here. Oh, and I just can't do well. I've already got a $2,000 GPU in my car in my PC already, so I really can't say much about that. I'm just gonna say that it's like, oh, so, but yes, this is a very sexy card, and moving right along, guys. Yo, check this out. AMD discusses a second generation 3D V cache. Yo. So they are talking about the new configurations on the new 3D V cache die sets on here. And, ooh. Man, almighty. Is this website being videocards.com is being slow today. So this is going to be basically the layout on here. Packages, they said that, you know, there's not going to be any rhyme or reason of which one's going to be a dummy core, which one won't be. The one that's going to be able to boost up is going to get the extra, the double stacked on the die set for the memories on there. Man, this thing is really slow today. But yeah, I mean, this should speed up any kind of memory timings on here very nicely, guys. And it'll help with RAM speeds. Getting the as they're able to do this, they're gonna be able to get the mega transfers per second on the RAM to go up to. Plus being able to use PCIe Gen 5 lanes and everything more effectively. This kind of affects everything that's communicating into the CPU. And yes, with the new 3D V cache on there, these things are pretty damn good at mining some Monero very efficiently too, might I add. I haven't seen anybody who's got their hands on these yet and has and are also mining with them. I know one person that's got this, but they do not mine. I wish I could sit there and talk him into letting me just kind of, you know, show him how to get the software on there, or just going to a website, get him on the Monero Ocean for a little bit, tell him to turn off all extra processes off of there that are unnecessarily running, and then just let it hash on there for like 10 minutes. Just turn it on, let it hash for like 10 minutes, and then turn it off. It won't do any damage to it. But yeah, I doubt I could talk him into it. I wish I could, because like I would want to opt him, because I know he's overclocking his PC too. So it's like he's getting every bit of that gaming performance out of there. He beats it up worse than I will mining on it, I swear. But, you know, to each their own. But I know that this thing should be able to throw down, make my 1950X Threadripper look like a Sally. Getting, you know, a measly 10,000 or 10 kilohash on, you know, 10 to 11 kilohash on Monero. This thing, I would sit there and put this, if I had to take a guess. Now, again, it's got performance cores in here. So, I mean, it's like they're not all balls of the wall. I would say probably about 16 to 17 kilohash for probably like 120 watts compared to my 180 watts. So I think mining wise, I think this is going to be a pretty decent CPU if you're wanting to mine Monero. That's pretty much what I do with my CPUs if I feel like mining with them. I don't always mine with my CPU, but when I do, I mine privacy. Yes. And then I trade it for Bitcoin. Yo! Does it make it private Bitcoin if I do that? Tech man, I survived Wally World. Congratulations. It's more dangerous, from what I understand, when it's around Christmas. Black Friday, you don't even bother going in there. You watch the madness if you do that. Wally World becomes, you go in the Wally World on Black Friday with a helmet, a mouth guard on, some, football pads on. So, yep, this actually should be a very interesting one moving forward with how AMD has been kind of been the Goliath when it comes down to mining Monero. It's kind of wild to see that. It's like it's not even worth to flip on an Intel CPU for mining in any way, shape, or form. No miner none of the mining software can optimize for Intel good enough to make it worth it. I do not understand. I mean, I understand that Intel is more focused on single core performance, where AMD is all about, just kind of here we do compute, and we like doing lots of compute. And all of a sudden, AMD shines. Let it shine, let it shine. It's like, it's just dangerous. I just carry a little squirt gun, right? Yep. Gotta make sure you got the little squirt guns. And then, guys, check this out. I laughed whenever I saw this. Let's get into, would you mind Doge WoW fork? Would you? I mean, seriously, guys. Let's see here. Let's see here. Would you mind Doge? Oh. Bam. So, would you mind Doge WoW fork? Bam. There we go. It's like they want some bones. So, yep. Doge WoW network. Doge WoW. Yep. It's a thing, guys. We already have transactions that was on here. I guess this is like their test net going on here. But and there's so many other things on here too. But we have them testing out the network. We have Apollo Doge W mining tutorial about Doge WoW. Doge WoW. Doge is the fork of Dogecoin that will always maintain proof of work, maintain the workload of consensus mechanisms that will improve overall security, stability, and decentralization of the Dogecoin network. Well, that last one, not sure if I believe so much. How much control are they keeping in the Doge WoW network? We've seen mining only coins come out and just be utter scams, things you just don't want to touch. Keep proof of work forever. Cool. Here's one that I don't like. Separating from the Litecoin to remove the binding of mining with Litecoin to provide more flexibility in the future. There is no reason to move away from Litecoin, the script mining on this. I'll tell you why. Big reason why. Super big reason. This is like the only reason why that anybody should ever look at this. GPUs. I have a small amount of them here, right? ASICs. I have a grand amount of them over here. Which network is more secure? Which network would be harder to hack? Which network would be harder to 51%? It's a no-brainer. It's going to be staying on the script algorithm for your security of consensus. Changing the consensus model of the network does not change how the network itself functions. What changes how a network will function is how efficient is their code base, how slow or fast is your network, what did they give up to get a faster network, right? But outside of that, it's just, okay, what are you developing on it? That's really at the end of the day, all it is Dogecoin can do whatever you want to do on Dogecoin. You can sit there and build upon Dogecoin's network. Nobody does it because it's a meme coin. It was never supposed to be anything special, ever. I mean, it's a joke of a fork of Bitcoin. Literally. Dogecoin is a fork of Bitcoin's code. Few things changed on it and then released. So, I mean, there's really nothing special in the code base at all. So building upon it, having flexibility for what? 51% in tax, insecure networks. That part, little fishy. Last I checked, I should make a final round on the Doge Box 2 giveaway. It would save me 150 watts. Nice. So, addressing, it's like to address the escalating contradictions between the large number of retail investors. Who's that? I'd love to know who these retail investors are that really will follow Doge. Wow. This is no different than any other wannabe Dogecoin, right? A lot of these coins got gone into the meme market. Dogecoin's going to do what Dogecoin wants. Doesn't matter what we want. It's what Dogecoin's going to want to do. They're going to ask the community what they want to do. And I'll get into some of that. I mean, there's some interesting stuff in here. So they're basically wanting to bring this stuff out onto on the GPU mining, which again, you're talking less secure. You're giving up a lot of security for this. So a lot of red flags start getting raised when you have devs that actually are considering getting rid of some of the security that's behind that has kept Dogecoin from really getting nailed, in any meaningful way outside of price movements. As soon as you get rid of the security, that's like the government sitting there and de-arming you. Once you take away the security, they can do whatever they want to you. And I don't think of it being any more than a money grab. So be careful, guys. If you guys are going to check out Doge Wow for mining, That will, there's some red flags in the ecosystem. So that is just me. Doge from the first 100 addresses on the Dogecoin blockchain will be reallocated on the fork chain, and if the exchange does not want to airdrop to users, the Doge W forked by the exchange will be also recalled by the DIO. So they're gonna have a DAO. I mean, it's just so many red flags. I just can't do it. No. I mean, if it's gonna make me some busy Bitcoin really easily, and I've got a clear-cut path to be able to offload it for Litecoin or Bitcoin, okay, you got me. Outside of that, I'm not gonna touch this. There's a lot of things in this crypto space that I just don't touch, and this is one of those that smells like I probably shouldn't touch it. It might be a waste of some electricity for at least a day. I might lose a day or more's worth of mining trying to chase anything on this. So if you guys go down this rabbit hole, careful, very careful. We're not in a bull market where any poop coin listed will rocket for a little bit. We're in a bear market still. So just be careful. We haven't snapped fully bullish. We're bullish to a point. We're just not fully there yet. We're getting there. But, something like this I don't see really popping. Maybe if we have a bull cycle coming through real soon. This might do good in the short term. But I'm talking short term, guys. So don't be messing around with this long term in any way, shape, or form. It's one of those get in and get out. Right? And then check this out too, guys. This is from the Dogecoin devs deny rumors of immediate proof of stake. That's where some of this freak out is coming from. So the developers have looked at doing a proof of stake style network as is. I've got my pros and cons with that. I mean, you guys know that I hate proof of stake because of the centralization behind it. Unless, one, I can stake it within my own wallet. Two, I can stake any amount of Doge at any point in time. And I'll have less issue with it. I still have issue with that somebody's got to implement the proof of stake, and somebody is still, they still have to, they have to figure out how they're going to sit there and all link together so that they all have the same node structure. So you're talking centralized nodes with decentralized wallets, and that I have my issue with. And that is my number one complaint with all the proof of stake out there, is that you're either dealing with a centralized node structure system in there, or you're dealing with a centralized oracle. And I have two issues with that, because if I'm connecting in with somebody else's network, I have to trust that their network is correct and that nothing funny has happened on their end. Nobody's put in some goofed up code that now my wallet that's decentralized to me is going to connect in and do something I don't want it to do. I have issues with that. That's how you put in backdoors onto in the networks. It just makes it more complicated than what it needs to be. The most secure things are the least complicated, period. I mean, you want to live trap something that's been crawling underneath your house, you put a cage in there, put a door on one end, put bait on top of a trap, a little trigger, simple. They step on it, door shuts. You know, you want your security to be strong, robust, and simple. Too many steps in there, and you start breaking down that cohesiveness of the security that you're trying to get. And I think that moving to a proof of stake system on Dogecoin would be a mistake because of the fact that there's so many ASICs mining Litecoin right now. They're able to utilize the Litecoin miners to give the network its amazing, robust security that it has. I don't see from the viewpoint of a miner, if they go through with this, and they from what I understand that they're making the network setting up a proof of stake network. They're not going to put a whole lot of into it. It's a zombie project that people. It's like a pet project that an early Bitcoiner put together. The same guy that did SHIB is the same guy, So I mean, come on, guys. He's not gonna sit there and worry about, oh, nobody's using this stuff. No. That's not how it is. So the developers of Dogecoin have denied the rumors that the network is immediately switching to proof of stake, saying that they are merely planning to release a proposal on the topic. So depending on how they want to do this, you're going to have you're going to have all the miners sitting there going, no. That's ridiculous. We understand this from a security standpoint. We understand this from from the economic standpoint. We understand this from the capital needed to secure the network properly. We understand that better than retail people. Retail people just go, oh, look, I can participate now. I don't need to have all this other equipment. True. Now you just gave up a whole bunch of security. Again, not a good direction to go. Dropping to GPU mining, you have less. It's like you're not going to have all these people going over in the proof of stake that are going to be participating in proof of stake with Dogecoin. Like I said, if they allow the proof of staking to happen within the wallet, and you can stake any amount of Doge, that's going to be set up more like how Red Coin is, REDD coin. Their wallet's set up like that. But again, that's a dead zombie project. That project is flatlined for the most part. So I mean, it's like I would think that there's enough. If there's enough people to sit there and say no, they will not go through with this, and it'll stay forever on script. And I think that's from a security standpoint in an OPEC. I would think that this is the better way of doing it, is staying where there's already a big security setup for you. Why stop the best thing you got going for you? Just because, Ethereum went to proof of stake, they centralized the crap out of themselves to force this. 90% is now ran on AWS and controlled by 2 node validators. Yeah, very centralized. It's like who has the most coins gets the most vote style. Yeah, exactly. I'm not sure how Dogecoin wants to sit there and set this up. I almost want to hit some of the guys up on this and see what they're actually planning on the background, and be like, hey, unofficial, official, yeah, what's the skibby? And go from there. I'll see what I can do trying to drum up some info on this. No guarantees. You see, Golden, like even if it was he who has the most coins gets the most votes, there's people like me that would have over 500,000 votes. So I mean, there's there's a lot of us that can sit there, and I know people that have 10,000 Doge. I mean 10 million Doge. I'm sorry, 10 million Doge. And they've mined Doge on GPU. Let's put it that way. So you have Litecoin and you have Dogecoin. These two belong together. Separating them is like taking a brother and sister and separating them and telling them that they can no longer talk to each other. So I mean, it depends on how they want to do this. Like if it looks like they're going proof of stake, I'm dumping my Doge. I'm just letting you guys know that now. I will, if they go proof of stake, I'm dumping all my Doge. I do not support centralized systems in any way, shape, or form. I mean, I've gotten free coin in my red wallet, my red coin, but I don't play with it. It sits in the wallet. I've never done anything with it. It was free coin. And it's probably worth the same amount as when I got it as it is today. I guess it's holding its value, but so yeah, so I mean, like, I don't think that Doge should come off of that. I think it'd be really foolish of them. But what am I to say? We live in clown world these days, where the foolish people make the decisions these days. Don't know why, but it's just how it is. Unfortunately. So we are coming up to that 1 hour marker, guys. Certainly hope you smash that Lizzie like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification, all that good stuff. I see 7 awesome people in here, and there's only 3 Lizzie like buttons pressed. Come on, guys. Give your home Doge a little love. Yo! And drop some FAs in the Chizity chat, guys. If you guys got any questions or comments, now is the time to ask away. Hit me up with anything. Let's see here. And out of, we've got 3 people who have voted on this poll here. And out of those 3 people, I would probably say 2 of them were like, if it makes more Bitcoin, I'm down. And then one of you was like, hell no, I don't touch poop coins. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna end this poll. Since it's only got three awesome people. I bet you it's the same 3 people that that hit the like button, also sat there and voted here. Yo. So come on, guys, show me a little bit of love here before I head up out of here. A little bit of facility updates. We're still trying to get more power. We're almost tapped out of power. We'll have some interesting equipment at the facility here soon that we'll be able to play around with. Ooh. Stay tuned to that, guys. We will be doing, me and Mikkel will probably do a video on this. Yo, I'm just freaking saying. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and end it right here, my dudes. Since you guys don't have any other comments or questions. So we'll have some new gear testing out. And as of an update, there's over 300 GPUs running at the facility right now. Over 300 GPUs, guys. And ASICs. Holy cow. That building is humming. So if you guys are wanting to get your rigs hosted at the facility and add to that GPU number hosting at the facility, guys, join the Patreon. Links down below, guys. Get into the pseudo hasher tier, guys. Yo! Because you want to get that VIP access to the facility before we open up our doors to the public. Because once we officially open up our doors to the public, yeah, that's when the fun's gonna happen, guys. Because I expect that once we're able to open up the doors to the public with all the power that we have, we'll have a 0.5 megawatt worth of power, guys. I'm expecting to see that facility fill out like that. That's what I want. I want that whole facility pimped all out. Bam. That's what I'm looking for, guys. I want to be able to sit there and have all of you guys' stuff running over there. So get into the Patreon. What are you waiting for? If you can't afford it, I understand. There are also perks in the Patreon too. It kind of makes the Patreon side of it free for you, but you got to get in there to find out. I'm just saying, if you want to find out, if you do. Otherwise, get into the Discord. It's free to join. Love to have you part of the community. Sit there, chit chat. We got a lot of awesome people in the Discord, very knowledgeable people. So if you got any comments or questions or anything like that, certainly hit me up in the Discord. And if you guys are mining in the Discord, I have a rig pick section. I would love to start getting rig picks. And if I can get a good enough of a barrage of everybody dropping rig picks in, I might be able to sit there and set up a little maybe a weekend show or something like that where I just go over and show everybody's rigs off, either compliment them or roast them. Do like a Sunday show as Will I Roast It? I don't know. But love to see you guys' rig picks, all that good stuff. Even if you're not gonna send them over to the facility, guys. Either way, love to have you guys share them out, and then I might make a video on it. So with that being said, definitely smash that Lizzie like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification, all that good stuff. And peace out, stay savage, and may your watts be low and your hash be high. I'll see you on the next one.